Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're now delighted to be joined over the telephone by our guest for this afternoon, Dr. Ahmad Nassef, the International Economic Advisor. Dr. Ahmad, a very good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon to you.
Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Ahmad. Of course, as we shed light on Egyptian-Indian relations, in light of the Indian Prime Minister's visit to Egypt, could you tell me a bit about the history of Indian-Egyptian ties, sir?
Well, Egypt and India and China are the three oldest civilizations on planet Earth.
Yes.
So we've always, since prehistoric or before Christ, we had a very, very strong relationship, and we are well rooted in our history. We share the same issues. The population, the very large needs for a very large population and that sort of thing. And historically, when President Nasser did not really want to go left or right, did not want to go to the west or to the east, they formed, or Egypt formed with, at the time of Jawahir al-Nehru, and with Czechoslovakia, which was a country, a setup which is the how would you translate this? The something in the middle,
yes.
A sort of relationship in the middle. And as the global system or the global world order now is changing, we see something actually almost similar to that with the start of the evolution of the Brexit setup. So we have a very, very old relationship with India. It went through different phases, and we do have a very important bilateral trade with India,
yes,
which goes to almost, if I'm not mistaken, some 5 billion or almost touching 6 billion US dollars.
Yes, indeed, Doctor. Yes, this actually leads me to my next question. As you said recently, relations between Egypt and India have flourished, specifically in the economic area, and trade relations between the two countries have also increased in the recent years. Could you tell us a bit about some of the main features of this convergence?
For the past 26 years,
yes,
our trade with India has been going up with what we call CAGR, or compounded annual growth, with over 10%, almost at 11%, taking it to somewhere around the 5 to 6 billion US dollar. So far, it is actually in favor of India.
Yes.
One of the things that President Sisi is trying to, I would say, fix, because it needs fixation at this stage, is we and India started almost a journey for manufacturing almost at the same time. India, we, for unclear reasons, at the time of Sadat and Mubarak, we stopped this journey. We were into cars and motorcycles produced in Egypt. Unfortunately, we stopped this journey for about 20, 30 years. Today, India is exporting to us cars, and the streets are filled with the small tuk-tuks, all imported from India. So we missed 3 decades where we could have advanced anyways. Better come late than never. President Sisi is revitalizing that sort of strategy. India is a very advanced country for military production and weaponry. So we have a lot to learn from India. The good thing I like about the relationship and evolution of our relationship with India is reality is they're one step ahead of us. They're the second largest populous country in the world. They have exactly our same challenges: the population growth, the self-satisfaction from foodstuffs and strategic items and what have you. So through that exchange, we have a lot to learn from the Indian experience. I personally was trained in India in the streets of several cities, Mumbai and Delhi. And when I came back, that was a very long time ago, when I came back, I applied a lot of the business models that we've learned working there. And it was extremely a perfect fit to the Egyptian market.
Yes.
I have to admit, it was a much better fit than many of the trainings I've received in the U.S. and different parts of Europe.
Yes, speaking about, the Egyptian market, trade relations, as you said, have increased. Could you tell us a bit about some of the most important Egyptian exports to India and vice versa? What are some of the most important things we import from India?
Sure. The Indian exports to Egypt are mostly machinery and some refined products and some grades of cotton. And grades of cotton, not the long type of cotton, but the medium and short ones. And recently, they've been an important exporter to us of wheat after the war broke up between Russia and Ukraine.
Yes.
On the other side, we do export a lot of raw material, specifically some of the like precious metals and other. And the other thing also I forgot, it's the programming. The computer programs is one of the things that India produces and sells to Egypt and many other countries in the world. Another thing that many people do not know is that India is the global hub for what we call call center services. Some people might say, call center. No. This is a huge global business with billions of dollars, worth billions of dollars, because they're providing services to almost all companies, all technology companies globally. Okay. When your phone or your Xbox or your computer or your PC or laptop breaks down in Nova Scotia, Canada, you dial a toll-free number that actually connects you to an operator in India, and he fixes it for you. And that's a lot of business, because imagine the number of computers and electronic machines and Xbox and gaming around the world.
So indeed, there is lots of room for furthering such trade. Yes, ties. I'm afraid I've run out of time. Dr. Ahmad Nassef, our International Economic Advisor, thank you so much for your time, sir.